Salutations, everybody. It is Maddie here today. Happy Monday. What a great way to start off the week. Today, we finally have news that we've been seeking out really for about a year or so now, but quite honestly, it's ramped up in demand in the last month or so following Xbox's no-show at the Game Awards. Today, we're talking about a significant showcase leak, and it's not really about the content that'll be there, but rather the format and what it means for the future of Xbox. But don't get me wrong, what's going to be in there and what might not be in there is of great interest to you. So ladies and gentlemen, 2023 is off to a rapid start. There's so much to talk about. Let's not delay any further. If you're new here, you're into Xbox news and information, you're in the right place. Consider subscribing. Let's begin by heading over to Windows Central Gaming, where Jez Corden, dad of Xbox, had the scoop. He starts off by writing, Xbox will host a new developer direct game show with Arcane, Bethesda, and more. Here's when. I heard that there was an Xbox showcase on the horizon back in December, as we discussed on our Xbox 2 podcast, but I've since been able to lock the information down with a variety of sources familiar with Microsoft's plans. It seems the show will be called Developer Direct and may be part of a new initiative from Microsoft and Xbox to offer information on upcoming games more frequently outside of the major E3 and Game Awards marketing beats. From what we understand, the Developer Direct show is slated for January 25th at 12 p.m. Pacific time on Xbox's official channels on Twitch and YouTube, although these dates may be subject to change. The show will be hosted by both Xbox and Bethesda with deep dives into Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Forza Motorsport, and content from Zenimax Online Studios. From what we understand, this won't be a full-blown E3 scale kind of show and will be a more intimate look at some of the upcoming exclusives. As such, we've heard Starfield may even be skipping this show for a bigger marketing beat later on. The Developer Direct Showcase will hopefully be the beginning of a more frequent marketing cycle for the company, as many fans have asked Microsoft to look to Nintendo's Direct-style show to keep the news cycle going. We expect Microsoft will make the show official as soon as this week, so be sure to keep an eye out. And it seems like that very well may be true, as Aaron Greenberg has already tweeted that this is going to be a fun week and he's excited to see it progress. So we'll talk about Starfield and its potential absence. I don't want to overreact until we officially know, but don't worry, I have my thoughts on that. What I want to talk about is what we have a pretty good feeling will be there, but I think more importantly is this format. Number one, shameless copycat. Look, the best artists are copycats. And here we have Xbox having something literally with direct in the name. Developer Direct. There you go. And it makes sense, right? A direct line to the developer, a intimate look at the games that'll be there. This is something that's sorely needed for Xbox as they continue to grow. I think since they acquired Bethesda, it was needed. But then as you see Game Pass ramp up with day one deals in there, with just games you want to show off, going to Game Pass in there, when exclusives ramp up on a third-party capacity, something like a High on Life, or your first-party studios, which are eventually going to have a ton of stuff to show with not enough showcases to hold it with those major marketing beats. And then you also have Bethesda. Oh, and by the way, if the Activision deal goes through, that's a whole slew of games that you're going to have room to talk about. And eventually, you're either going to have bloated segments within showcases that are 3+ hours long, which for many sounds pretty good, but for me, no, let's spread the wealth a little bit, which is what option 2 is. Okay, we're going to have a lot of stuff to showcase across all of these different channels, all of these different outlets. Let's do this show that's a little more intermittent in between the big marketing beats and give fans something to chew on. You see, Xbox's biggest mistake outside of, I think, announcing things too early was not feeding fans any form of information on those already announced projects. Now, I totally respect their approach of, we're not going to force, say, Playground Games to talk about Fable until they're well and ready. That approach is definitely the healthiest, but some type of word-of-mouth update on the progress of it or how it's looking would help in a lot of these games. How's Avowed going? You know, I think the idea of pretending that Avowed wasn't promised to be shown very soon and then we haven't seen it for multiple years now could be concerning depending on who you ask. So hopefully this show will alleviate that, as it will serve as more so a distraction for many from the other games they're looking forward to. So I think this format, again, is much needed as Xbox continues to grow, as they continue to invest in different mediums. And of course, they've already said after Activision, they're not done acquiring studios. So they're going to continue to expand the Xbox family. And as they do that, there's going to be more ground to cover. This show is perfect, and I feel like we're going to hear more from them than any of the big three, because they're just going to have that much to show when it's all said and done. Plus, Game Pass being a machine of its own, you could have a Game Pass show, if you will. I hope they don't, because then you're spreading it a little too thin. I just think the idea of showcasing updates for games you have deals with is smart, because it creates that ecosystem feel. What I'm hoping for, though, is this won't be a Twitch gaming type of showcase. My biggest problem with ID at Xbox has nothing to do with the publishing of their games, the quality checking of their games. All of that is fantastic. Even the marketing, for the most part, is pretty good. It's that ID at Xbox Twitch gaming showcase that I think is really perplexing. And I'm hoping that Developer Direct just slides on it as the nice replacement for that, because I think that'll be healthy for the developers. The reason I don't like that showcase, for those who don't know my thoughts on it, is I personally believe that that showcase, being Twitch gaming, does more damage to the games than actually helps them, because there are bloated talking segments. A lot of it revolves around the Twitch streamers more than the games. These games are already struggling to, punch above their weight, let alone being swamped by ego. And I say that as a content creator, I just think this would be the better route. So I hope this kind of steps in as a substitute where you could show off wonderful looking indies. Also, when Xbox reveals this, we need to kind of pay attention to how they communicate it. How do they check expectations? When they announce it, do they say, like Jez said here, you're going to see Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Forza Motorsport, and a Zenimax Online Studios update? If we get that type of communication, that's good, because you're checking expectations at that point. It's not like one of those tune in for the Xbox third-party gameplay showcase where we have a lot to show you, and a lot of people were disappointed with that one, as there was no real gameplay there outside of, I think, Scarlet Nexus. So that's the other thing we want to check here. How will Xbox deliver the message? How will they market it? I think that's going to be really key in how they handle this, because Nintendo, there is that built-in excitement when they just randomly drop an email in your inbox or randomly drop a tweet and they say, we will be hosting a direct in 2 days. See you then. Maybe it's because there's a built-in trust there, but there's always that excitement that a Nintendo Direct is going to deliver, because it's so rare. But I feel like so many people walk away complaining. Me, I never do. I feel like Nintendo Direct is scary consistent. I don't know how they keep doing it. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the general format. Let's talk about the content within, and not really there at all. So what's going to be there, apparently, according to Jez, is pretty much everything that was promised for the first half of the year, outside of Starfield. So what you have here is Redfall, Minecraft Legends, Forza Motorsport, and content from Zenimax Online Studios. Now, with Redfall, this makes a lot of sense, because this is apparently coming out in May, and this is one that does need more marketing as far as I'm concerned. Now, it's got a lot of interviews and coverage on IGN. We got a couple trailers for it. We've seen this one the most, so it just makes sense that it's going to have the most presence at the first Developer Direct. And I'm excited to see more on it, because they just dropped another big piece over on Games Radar covering Redfall and how it's more like Arcane's attempt at a Far Cry game. Not speaking my language here for Arcane. I'm not going to lie, man. That's not what I'm looking to hear. I'm not a crazy Ubisoft fan, and their games have tired me out. So when you're trying to create your own version of that, not the best way to talk about it, but read the article. It's insightful. It gives you an idea of what they're going for at the minimum. But point being, we've heard a lot about it. We've seen an okay amount from it. It's time for another big show out to start marketing to that May window. I'm very excited to see what they have in store for us, because it's much like all these games we're going to talk about, been since the summer showcase that we got a true full-fledged look at the game, an expansive gameplay deep dive. And I'm curious how long they'll show the games for here. Will they be quick trailers and we'll be in and out in 20 minutes? Will the final game be that long 8 to 15 minute look at it? I'm curious how they go about it. But anyway, the next game here is Minecraft Legends, kind of a sleeper in the heart of the first half of the year. Something that I don't think a lot of Xbox fans are talking about, but I do think this game looks great. It's just that I think for some people, Minecraft's for kids, and I get the mindset. I've kind of fallen out of love with Minecraft. I don't think it's bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I grinded it in high school a lot. I've had my time with Minecraft. I've kind of moved on from it. It's not one of those cemented favorites of all time that I can just keep going back to. You know, it served its purpose for me and my friend group, and it got us to socialize a little bit more online, and that was it. So I remember it fondly, but Minecraft Legends is like an RTS. So now we're speaking my language a little bit more, and it looks like a really fun time. So I like how they're playing with the IP here, and it's something worth paying attention to, because even if you don't care about Minecraft, Xbox has said that they want to take the Minecraft approach to Call of Duty. So think of the spin-offs for Minecraft and what it's getting that's super unexpected, and you can apply the same mindset to Call of Duty. And that is really exciting, because that's the biggest IP in the gaming industry. And if you start making RTS and turn-based games out of that, I mean, who knows what's waiting for us in that IP that we never even imagined. Same thing goes for Minecraft. So even if it's not your cup of tea, it's still, I think, worth paying attention to. Forza Motorsport. This is the one that I know is going to kind of arrive in the spring window, much like Forza Horizon did, where no one's talking about it. It arrives. It's going to review stupid well. It's going to be this new bar of racing game quality, barring any type of monetization. I think Turn 10 has earned our trust, though, that they're going to deliver a home run. And then suddenly it's going to be the talk of the town. I can see it now. It's not going to be the hot one coming out of the showcase, but when it drops, people are going to be talking about it, because it's a, you know, look, it's not the sexiest one for many people who create content, write articles, etc., but Forza is an Xbox staple, whether we like it or not. I remember when I got my first original Xbox, it came packaged in with a Forza Motorsport game. Did I play it? No, I played NFL Fever, which I believe also came in that package. And then Jet Set Radio as well. Dude, the launch games for the original Xbox, I think it came with the Clone Wars game too. It was a great time. But anyway, oh, and Tetris, the double pack. Wasn't that crazy? But anyway, Forza Motorsport, I think this is kind of a guaranteed home run for Xbox. It's one that they should have a lot of confidence in. For me, not the one I'm most excited about. So this showcase is looking a little, I don't want to say soft, but I'm kind of in the middle on Redfall. I'm opening up to it a little bit more, but when I hear Far Cry, you're not really winning me over there. Racing isn't my thing. Minecraft, not in love with it, but excited for Legends. Curious what that's going to be. And the last one I'm really interested in is Zenimax Online Studios. Now, I've said for a while, you can go ahead, check the tapes. Mr. Matty has said for a while that I think this is a team that's going to announce their game within the next year. And I think that it's time to. We've had Elder Scrolls Online for a while. Support for that should continue. That game is awesome. But they have been amassing a massive team over there to work on a brand new IP that they've been talking about a little bit towards the end of the year. And you may have forgotten this, but they have 200 plus people working on a brand new game that they've been churning away on for a good number of years now. This thing should be ready to be talked about if it's been in the pipeline for as long as Zenimax Online Studios has claimed it is. And they've been hiring for it. Their team is massive. I mean, this feels like a no-brainer to me. And that is the kind of X factor to this show. We have this known quantity in Redfall, a known quantity in Forza, a known quantity in Minecraft Legends. But when it comes to Zenimax, if they show out with this new IP, that could be a big deal. Is it going to be a single player exclusive title? Is it going to be a massive multiplayer online game? I'll be very keen to find out, but that's the one I'm putting on the bingo card as the X factor here. Whatever Zenimax Online Studios is showing up with, I think it's going to be the new IP. Now, I could be reading a little bit too much in between the lines here. Jez said content from Zenimax Online Studios. It could just be general updates on what's happening with Elder Scrolls Online. And if so, that does change the perspective a little bit on what a developer direct can be, because that means things like Sea of Thieves, Forza Horizon 5, Forza Motorsport, Halo Infinite, games that get updates within the Xbox ecosystem will have a platform here, and that can fatten up the show a little bit. And for some, under-deliver if they're not within those specific ecosystems. So this will be a fascinating lesson for all of us as we get into it. I'm excited for it on format alone. I don't know if this show and the content there is calling my name outside of Zenimax Online Studios and a little bit with Redfall, and to some degree Minecraft Legends, like to a small degree, but otherwise it's really about the idea of delivering something every so often that gives us updates on things happening within the Xbox ecosystem. Now, don't worry, I didn't forget. We got to talk a bit about Starfield missing here. I don't want to get too crazy with this, but I'm going to just run with the theory I've been saying for a little bit now. There's two ways you look at it. It depends if you're a glass half full kind of dude or a glass half empty kind of dude. If you're glass half full, it's Todd Howard has said for a while, yeah, I want to wait as long as possible between reveal and release for my games. Since Starfield was already shown off, announced, revealed, we had the gameplay deep dive, we've talked about it a little bit, I could see the mindset within Bethesda Game Studios being, next time we show it, maybe February, maybe March, put the release date on it then, and put it in the release date in June, and you don't got to wait long to get your hands on it, and then just go balls to the wall marketing campaign to the point where the excitement is so unbelievably hard to contain. That's the glass half full mentality. The glass half empty mentality is, well, maybe it's in trouble. Maybe it's getting a delay. A conversation certainly that we've entertained here on the channel a lot. Maybe it's just not coming along as smoothly. Whatever Bethesda Game Studios wants to deliver, I'm ready for the peak fiction. To conclude, that's everything I had to say about Developer Direct, about what will be there, what won't be there, and any concerns I may or may not have about Starfield. So it's time for you to speak. What do you have to say? Fire away in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to seeing your thoughts. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who continue to support the hell out of the content here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.